Good morning. Today is the 9th. I think so, but I can't see. And we're going to start with the daily reflection on the Old Testament. I saw in the night visions, one like the Son of Man came down the clouds with clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and there was given him dominion and glory and kingdom, an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away. Daniel 7:13 through 14. Daniel 7:13 through 14 is a passing reference to the great council to be held at Adam-on-Diamond just before the second coming of the Son of Man in glory. In this council, all who have held the keys of the kingdom will give an accounting, each in his turn, back to Adam, who will then account to the Lord Jesus Christ. The Son of Man stands before Adam, and there is given him, Christ, glory and dominion. Adam delivers up his stewardship to Christ, that which was delivered to him as holding the keys of the universe, but retains his standing as head of the human family. That's teachings of Smith. See also D&C 116. In addition, on this occasion, a monumental sacrament meeting will take place, one in which such scriptural luminaries as Moroni, Elias, John the Baptist, Elijah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Peter, James, John, and all those whom the Father hath given Christ out of the world will be in attendance. That sounds like a sacrament meeting I would love to be there for. Okay, so today is Zachariah 10 and 11. And in 10, Judah and Joseph will be scattered among the people in far countries. The Lord will hiss for them, gather them, and redeem them. And then in 11, Zachariah speaks about the Messiah. The Messiah will be betrayed for 30 pieces of silver. They will be cast into the potter in the house, to the potter in the house of the Lord. Okay, nothing stood out to me in particular in these verses, but I think we finally have something here from the side-by-side. Look at that, we do. All right, so Zechariah 10, summary of the precepts and principles taught by Zechariah and Malachi, the last two prophets in the Old Testament canon. Two of the final voices from the prophetic quorum of Old Testament witnesses, Zechariah and Malachi, sound ominous warnings about the coming day of judgment, when all individuals will need to account for their quality of their mortal choices. The view of these final two messengers is not only of the Messiah's ministry upon the earth just a few hundred years hence, when the majesty of his atoning sacrifice would stand out in stark contrast with the myopic blindness of the generation that would utterly reject him, but of his eventual second coming in glory and power as the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, before whom every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. Shh. Hey, no. Back out. Shut the door. Quietly. The operant question is this: how should we prepare for this singularly important event to be able to abide the day of his coming? The answer is clear. Choose the Lord, worship him, make holiness to the Lord a pervasive dimension of life. Honor him, bring a pure offering before him in righteousness. Give glory to the name of God. Walk with God in peace and equity. Remain faithful within the covenant bounds of marriage. Care for the poor and needy. Return unto God. Pay your tithes and offerings. Fear God and always keep him in your thoughts. Avoid pride, and under the influence of the sealing power of the priesthood, cultivate a godly and eternal disposition of oneness among families, both fathers, parents towards their children, and children towards their fathers. Only then can we hope to enjoy the spirit of grace and supplication that the Lord will pour out upon his covenant people in the day of both rescue and retribution. Only then will the earth, already destined to endure a universal cleansing at the Lord's coming, be spared the curse of emptiness that would come if the eternal covenant principles would not in the end prevail. That's kind of like a dun 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 moment there, where it's like, it's heavy today with the daily reflection, and this one, it's very heavy today. It's very, okay, are you doing all you need to do to be ready for his coming? Are you going to abide the day of his coming? Are you ready? Then it has something in here for Zachariah 10 verse 9, the return of Israel, but I don't think I'm going to read that one. We know about the gathering. But it's got one thing here for chapter 11. In verse 12, his prophetic vision. It is a wondrous thing that the prophets of the Lord can perceive in such detail that which is to come. The fulfillment of this prophecy about 30 pieces of silver is recounted in the New Testament. And then he quotes Matthew 26, 14 through 16. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests, and said unto them, What will ye give me, and I will deliver him unto you? And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. And from that time he sought opportunity to betray him. I mean, he knew it the minute he did it that it was wrong. And he knew it the minute that Christ died that what he had done was wrong. Can you imagine? Then, I believe he killed himself. Then going to heaven and seeing him, and I don't think you're going to be able to see the Father straight away, and I don't think he's going to be able to see the Father, period, but just knowing, being there and knowing what you have done. Ouch. Okay. I believe it's the 9th. If I squint hard enough, I can see it's the 9th. Okay. This prayer is from Eric Milner White. O Lord, the first and the last, the beginning and the end, who wast with us in our birth, be with us through our life. Thou who art with us through our life, be with us at our death. And because thy mercy will not leave us, then grant that we die not, but rise to the life everlasting with thee and in thee, who livest and reignest in the glory of the eternal Trinity, one God, world without end. All right, so that was Zechariah 10 and 11, and we do 12 and 13 tomorrow. See you then. Bye.